What's going on YouTube? GraveCinder here, and welcome back for another episode of Cities Skylines. Green Cities DLC is finally out, and I'm actually really excited to incorporate some of that here in our city. I think most of you guys caught my Green Cities DLC video that I did just a couple of days ago. And I'm actually ready to get into it. I did a couple of changes in between episodes, of course, and let me share that with you guys. So, if you recall, here we had a couple of elementary schools and a high school, as well as a university. So all I really did here is I swapped those out for the Green Cities school. So we have the new university here. Here we have the new high school, elementary school, and high school. I also put in some of these trees. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I also went ahead and I incorporated some of them up here in our super fancy neighborhood. So all around there. And of course I went ahead and I mixed some of them in over here as well. The one thing that I don't like is the contrast there doesn't quite catch on with the rest of these in-game trees, so they're kind of blurry, and then when you zoom in they get their full color back. Not a big fan of that, but hey, it is what it is. If that's the only problem that this new DLC brought over to me, I think I can live with that. Additionally, what I did is I went ahead and I zoned a little bit more residential over here. So I zoned some more residential, but not just any residential. We have the self-sufficient buildings here. So Sheffield Hills, we are going to get to renaming this district this episode. But yeah, these are all the self-sufficient buildings, so the residential buildings. However, I don't see a whole lot of solar panels. Is that really the one that I selected, or what? It looks like the little icon. Let's check it out. Yeah, it is. It certainly is. I just maybe they have to level up to level 3. Oh, actually, hey, I think those are solar panels. They're just a bit different looking, but that is a-okay. Of course, we're going to incorporate some of those nice big tall trees here. But the other thing that that I did in between episodes is I added another junction here, or intersection, whatever you want to call it. So I was observing the traffic, and a lot of trash trucks were going out of their way to get into this portion of the city here. So I went ahead and I added a access off and on point over here, so it's a little bit easier for them to get in and out. As you can see, there's a whole heap of them right there. Getting on to incorporating more of the Green Cities DLC into our Let's Play series here is right over here, actually in this area. I am going to have to go ahead and adjust Metro Man's district. We're going to cut it a little bit. So we're going to cut it to there. Just like so. And we're going to go ahead and come and play with me here. Again, I am a little bit, I don't want to say upset, but a little bit disappointed that they have not fixed the snapping for districts in this new patch. I thought for sure that they would have. Here, what we're going to do is we're going to make a whole new district. And if you guys haven't guessed it already, this is where we're going to have our organic and local produce. Alright, there we go. I will go ahead and there it is, organic and local produce. All of these buildings are now going to the zone, and new ones are gonna come up. At the risk of zoning too much, too quick, I am gonna go ahead and zone over here as well. And not quite sure what to put here yet. We'll figure that out. But quite excited to see these buildings come in and to see what they're gonna look like in this map. This is the Boreal themed map, and there we go. We have healthy weeds, the very first building that's zoned in. Looks okay. And we'll just have to wait and see what the rest of them look like. But we'll come back and check in on them in a little while. Alright, so while we wait for these buildings to zone, we're gonna go ahead and name this district, and we're gonna name it the Organic and Local Produce District. We're gonna name this, and the name of this district is going to be and I think I'm gonna pronounce this correctly. Galeric Local. Let's say Galeric Local Market is what we're gonna call this. Galeric Local Market. I like it. It's got a nice ring to it. The other district that we're gonna name is this one right over here, and this is after one of my longtime followers. We're gonna call this one the Foxtrot Alpha Zulu Green Homes. Foxtrot. Actually, we're not even gonna put a space in between. Green. Foxtrot Alpha Zulu Green Homes. I like it. It's got a nice fresh ring to it. Foxtrot Alpha Zulu Green Homes. Can't wait for all these buildings to be level 3 as well, so we can really show off all of the solar panels and like the color difference, the contrast in between them. And I'd imagine this is going to take just a little bit longer for all of these buildings to come in. These guys are still not having enough workers, which again, that will settle. But I think we can move on to another area and just kind of play around with everything that we have here in this this new DLC. And that area can be this one over here. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I went ahead and I switched out all of these with the green cities sewage facilities, and I even went ahead and I put in one of these garbage collectors over here, so it can kind of help and clean the pollution before it gets into all of your guys' cities down the river. So I'll leave that there. Cool. Yes, so we are gonna take advantage of that. As you can see, I did a little bit of or made some roads over here. That's gonna be for these awesome facilities here. Actually, why not? We'll just leave it there. Put one there for now. And what's this gonna look like? I don't hate it. I don't love it either. We'll leave it exactly the way it is. So all of these green trucks are now gonna go and collect some garbage alongside with the old trucks. So we'll leave that be. I do realize that we went ahead and we completely zoned up this district, but didn't actually make it a district or even give it a name. So we are going to do that at this point. There we go, something like that. I think all of the houses are included in the district itself. And this one we're going to call the Lee Moroni Park. So let's go ahead and give that a name. Lee Moroni Park. Perfect. And as far as policies go, let's see if we can't find a good policy here. So I'm thinking because this area is kind of secluded, we are going to give it the smoke detector distribution. They are going to have recycling. I can't really ban smoking in a trailer park, so we'll leave that as it is. We are going to give it a Parks and recreational use. We're going to make them recycle plastic, of course, and not really high-tech housing. I don't think it's appropriate. How about no not in my backyard is what this stands for. NIMBY. No loud noise in the night. Leisure specialized areas will close for the night. Reduces noise pollution caused by. Actually, that doesn't really fit well. We're gonna give them lightning rods. How about that? So total of, what is it, 5 policies. Lightning rods, smoke detector, that's 2, recycling, that's 3, parks, that's 4, rec use, that's 5, 6, including recycle plastic. So, Lee Moroni, thank you for being a subscriber. I think you're one of the recent ones, because I don't think I've seen you post prior to one of the previous episodes, but thank you so much. You've got your very own district. Alongside with Foxtrot Alpha Zulu, thank you for being around. I think you mentioned since I had like 60 subscribers. And Galerica Local Market, thank you also for being one of the recent subscribers. Alright guys, so I've let the game play out just for a little bit, and the residential demand is super high alongside with commercial. So commercial, I'm not that worried about. Again, we have enough here to where the workers can just come and get a job if they really want to. But residential we are hurting on a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start dabbling a little bit with high density residential, and I'm gonna go ahead and zone this whole block over here. We're gonna put the game on 3 speed and let those kind of just zone in and come in. While that's happening over there, let's go ahead and play around with these trees here. So I'm gonna take a small brush. Strength, we're gonna put it on super duper high, and we're gonna do this. See, it looks 10 times better already. We are also gonna do the same thing right over here. And over here. Look at all these folks coming through this this pathway. I don't know it was going to be so popular when I built it. I'd love to see the residents use the pathways that I've built. We're gonna put some more trees over here. Come on, there we go. I gotta tell you guys, I'm quite happy with this tree brush. Not only because you can easily place trees randomly, but also because you can delete all of them really quickly. There we go. Something like that. Man, these guys came up real quick, and the residential demand is still super high. We're gonna let all these folks move in before we zone more. Again, I don't want to over zone and then have everybody all over the place at the same time. So we can just continue on working over here. So we'll do that. I'm thinking over here we can actually put in a nice park. And can we fit this this new Green Cities park? Let's see. The tropical gardens, and yes, we absolutely can, and this area can certainly use a park. So there we go, something like that. Here we're gonna do the trees individually around it. There we go, just something like that, maybe a couple more. Right there, I think that looks just a-okay. They have a pathway and access right there, so they can come and visit it, or they can come around this way. And we're going to put a couple of trees there. I'm undecided if I want to zone over here on this road. I almost feel like I should, simply because we have a bus stop there. So I'll put those two buildings. Actually, let's do that and that for now. You kind of see what happens there. These guys are coming in nicely. Check the status. Educate more citizens as always when anything zones in. And we'll leave that be. Our residential demand is through the roof. I think if that, oh wow, I think if that bar was any bigger, it would shoot through. So let's go ahead and do that and that for now as well. And we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go ahead and do this and this for now. I do want to check in on traffic. Looks like the entrance to the city here is doing just a-okay. Not a whole lot of traffic. Coming on over here. I think this one's gonna be pretty packed. No, not really. Well, let it play out and see what happens. Now that we have this area kind of completed here, I am gonna go ahead and activate these buildings. It's gonna make our negative budget be even more negative, but I'm okay with that for now. And oh my god, wow, I think this is the most catastrophic fire we have we have had in the city yet. Got the fire trucks, the fire helicopters. Everybody is working together to sort this out. It almost seems pretty realistic with everybody working. I feel like the helicopter pilot operating the cameraman. Oh no, the helicopter operating the camera. Wow. And we have some homes over here that are on fire as well. No, it's actually not. It's just the trees. I bet you this guy's freaking out over here. Well, let's hope that that dies down pretty quick. We're at 6,400 population. The residential demand is still pretty darn high, and I think it's gonna go back up. We're gonna let some of these buildings actually get people in them. 9 of 9, 9 of 10, 10 of 10, 6 of 7, and 6 of 7. And that residential demand is climbing still. Alright, we'll do that and see what happens. Actually, you know what? Here in the center, we can go ahead and zone some low density commercial. I think I do want that. Not over there. And we'll leave that be. But I tell you guys, this is going to be, I think I mentioned it before, Anchor Heights, whatever we end up naming this, it's going to be the most packed district in our city. And this kind of stuff that you guys are seeing happen over here, again, I mentioned this is 100% normal when you're playing with unlimited monies. The game just doesn't have that same balance that it does when you start with the regular mode, as opposed to using the cheats is now what they call them. So yeah, this, I promise this will all sort itself out. And why hasn't anyone visited? Ah, that's why. There's actually no way for anyone to get in here. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna provide a road right there. That way police, trash, and any kind of other services that need to visit the area to take care of any issues such as this one, they can. And yep, yeah, they would come in right through here. And you know what? Let's go ahead and activate this police station in hopes that nope, he just went all the way over there. But that is a-okay. Checking over here. It's looking alright. I thought about making Anchor Heights the green buildings, but I think we're gonna leave that for another district. And let's go ahead and zone majority of this area over here as well. So here I am gonna add a little park. How about this park? That's simply to transfer power over, and then here we're gonna go around and do some low density green home residential. Since it does appear that everybody and their mother wants to move in at the same time. So as I mentioned to you guys before, I haven't before completely built a city and then started zoning, so I'm not familiar with any kind of other problems that we're gonna be challenged with, but I'm excited to get into them and see what happens. Let's go ahead and put a police station over here, actually a fire station over here on the corner. We're going to put a small clinic over here. Hopefully that's enough for a power transfer, and it is. And we can start zoning over here. And I'm not sure if they tweaked any dynamics in the game with the new DLC. Kind of like the RCI demand and you know, things of that nature. But I guess we'll just have to wait and find out together. The residential demand bar is finally down to I think to a manageable point, but I'm sure that as soon as these homes over here are zoned, we're gonna get that spike back up again. And we haven't had any industrial demand, and I mentioned before, those are gonna come through. That demand is gonna come through once we hit about 10, maybe between 10 and 12, 10 and 15,000 population. And at that point, I think we're going to start off with a little bit of oil and a little bit of farming here in the Savage Potato Farms. I forgot to mention I did make a district over here, Cypress Hills. We are going to name that possibly in the next episode. But I think, guys, for now, we're going to head and end the episode here. I think we did a lot. I'm actually quite excited about all of the Green City edition that we're gonna have here in our city. I think in between episodes I'm gonna pre-plan it a little bit more than I did today, and just kind of go from there. But thank you guys again for watching. Any questions, comments, in the comments box below. And as always, be the best that you can be in everything that you do. We'll see you guys on the next episode.